So, peace. Today, we're talking about the law of vibration. The law of vibration is a universal law. First thing that we want to understand about law is that whether you recognize or acknowledge or even know that they exist, they still have a way of governing over you. The same way as if you steal something, no excuse would be to say that I didn't know that stealing this was against the law. That's just not ignorance of the law is no excuse. So today we'll be discussing the law of vibration. I think one of the most common misunderstood laws. So hopefully by the end of this video, you will be able to be clear on exactly what the law of vibration means so you can begin to incorporate it and understand this law and use it in your everyday life. Excuse me. So the law of vibration is set is this. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates, everything is in motion, everything vibrates, and nothing is at rest. Yes, everything vibrates is said twice. And so we want to pay attention to a couple of things. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. What does that mean? Exactly. Because we can understand it on a scientific level, as in like the different molecules and the different atoms constantly moving, right? And you can understand how a solid may not have as much movement as the air, which may have a lot of movement. So the vibration of air and solid may be different. We can understand that on a scientific level, but what does that mean on a human personal level, and how can we incorporate this law in our everyday life? Because there's a lot of misconceptions in this law. So let's break it down and let's really uncover this veil. So, this principle or this law explains the actual differences between the different manifestations of matter, energy, mind, and spirit. And so we understand the difference between spirit and the all, which represents the infinite greatness of all that could be. That's what we mean as spirit. Spirit is not, a old lady jumping in church having the Holy Ghost. Spirit is something much more of a, a something that we can use outside of our physical body, and that's what we mean is spirit. And that's much different from energy in this context, because energy could just be meaning, having the energy to run a race or the energy to get up and go to work. That's not very spiritual, you understand, but it's still an energetic thing. And the mind just represents your ability to synthesize the things that you absolutely know versus the things that you don't know versus the things that you want to do versus the things that you don't want to do, and kind of just balance it all out and really do the best thing and think the best thought. So really using your mind is really a form of manifestation. So the things that we learn, we can actually manifest it into our actual life, and that creates matter. You understand? So it's different varying rates of vibration, but how do we get there? Once again, we want to get back to the root and the core of the human experience, because we don't want to get too scientific with the law, because being so scientific won't serve us. So let's understand the vibration of spirit versus the vibration of matter, and how we access spirit versus how we don't access spirit, okay? So, if we have a high vibrational being, that high vibrational being, in order to be in tune with spirit, now don't get me wrong, you can be in a state of trance in the form of dancing, in the form of moving, exercise, yoga, things of that nature. But for the most part, in the meditative state, in the altered sense state, when you're completely motionless and calm, is how you access spirit, because spirit is so rapid of an infinite rate of intensity that it almost seems like it is not moving. Just like if you were to spin a top and the top would be spinning so fast, it would seem as though it's not moving. So this is what we want to do. When we meditate, it's not to say that we are in a state of non-movement. We're actually moving so fast that it seems as though we're moving completely still. And once again, you can access this through the form of dancing and yoga and actually moving, but really stilling the mind is actually how you tap into spirit, because like I said. So when we want to talk about the lower forms of energy, then we're talking about the things that you must do to, create a balance. So if you have a low energy type of person and a low energy type of being, then we're discussing someone who may need to always want to go out and party, always got to do something, always got to, function at a high level because they represent a lower vibration. And so to find that balance, they have to do, figure out a way to like bring that vibration up. So that's the difference between, but that's also how you are kind of blocking spiritual flow, because if your mind is constantly thinking of ways to raise your vibration, then that's just a representation of your vibration being low. So we have to really figure out the different ways that we can truly raise our vibration and stop faking the funk. So instead of you saying, okay, I'm gonna do this to raise my vibration, I'm gonna buy this crystal, I'm gonna burn these sages and things of that nature, we're gonna really deal with the psychology on how to actually raise your vibration for real and stop faking it. So we have to understand that this world is a mirror, this world is a reflection. So if we don't like the reflection, we can't change the reflection. We must change ourselves if we don't like what we see. Synchronicity is an ever present reality for those who have eyes to see. So so the things that you are distraught about, the things that you are unhappy about, is just a representation of what you choose to see. Um, and when we speak about synchronicity in a positive sense, we're speaking on meaningful coincidences that seem to happen with no point of cause. They just seem to happen, they just seem to flow, and you don't have to say, I wish my girlfriend wasn't shit. I wish my girlfriend wasn't shit. I wish my, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to say that. It just seems to happen. This is synchronicity. So it's just general things that happen as far as finances. You can't, I could be in a state of mind to say, I wish I had some money. I wish I had some money. Or I can be in a state of mind to say, I'm happy with the money that I have, and I know that more money is coming to me. It's just a different. I'm not, constantly trying to cause some shit to happen. You understand? I'm living with the synchronicity of what I choose to see and what I choose to perceive. So, truly understanding synchronicity is truly understanding vibration, and I'll explain. Carl Jung had came to the conclusion that synchronicity or synchrony was the governing dynamic of the whole human experience. So everything that we experience was a result of synchronicity. So the further elaboration upon that is that if everything is vibration, then we have to understand the totality of what we mean by everything. Everything is not what we think. What we think is actually 10% of our reality. A larger part of our reality is what we feel and our emotions. Okay? So, our feelings and our emotions are generally taught to be held on to as if they have value, whether it be love or hate. Okay? So, if you don't understand that feelings and emotions just constantly pass like, a river, like a log in a river, it's just gonna flow down the river. No sense to follow it. Just let it go, because that's what his life path is to do. So any type of situations that we experience are just simply things that are to be let go. These are things that are simply to change, no matter how you feel. whether it be good or bad. That's the key. Because the goal is balance. Because every thought that we have creates a vibration, and that thought creates another vibration, and then we create vibrations with our emotions and our feelings, and all of these different things are all of our expectations, what we want, what we desire. And sometimes when you talk to people about like their expectations in relationships and career and things of that nature, just for instance, not to get deep, it'll be just like somebody, I know somebody that can't really sing or really don't got no talent, but they want to be successful and things of that nature because their mind is so fixated on them being a singer and that, but they don't really have it, you know. So it's a disconnect somewhere. It's a misalignment because they truly want something that they're not really emotionally ready for. And so generally when people become successful, it's not always based on talent. It's based on them actually being emotionally and vibrationally matched for success and being in the right place in the right time, actually having synchronicity. Because when we think about, hundreds of millions of people in this country, and at least, you can say 10 to 15 million people that want to be successful and be famous. So they're all wanting to be successful. So the chances of one person being successful is very, very small. So the actual people that become actually successful, they not it's not because they wanted it more because they were more talented. It was because they were more in alignment with what was truly their calling in their place. So it's not something that we can really wish upon. And I'll further elaborate on this. What we really need to understand is emotions. Uh, emotions, when we speak on emotions in our community, so say for instance, because we have to realize the connotations for the words that we use, and we'll have a fixated definition that really doesn't apply to the scientific or the metaphysical definition. It'll be a completely different thing. So when we try to discuss emotions in the philosophical sense, so to speak, uh, people get confused because if I was to call a woman emotional or if I was to call a guy emotional, that has a negative connotation. Okay? So emotions aren't bad. Being an emotional person isn't a bad negative trait. But what we understand for emotions to be is, headed down a downward spiral. Or, but we need to understand that all emotions is just a play on words. It's just motion and energy. Emotion is just energy in motion. So whatever you feel, you should be able to build with. So earlier, when discussing this video with Phoenix, we had I asked her how she felt, and she was like, I'm cool, I'm content. And I said, good, because now what's next? Now you have to create something. Now you have to figure out something to be hopeful for so you can take that hope and create optimism. And from that optimism, you create positive expectation and belief. And from that positive expectation belief, you have enthusiasm. And enthusiasm just represents the God force. And so you project that God force, and now you living with passion, okay? And from that passion, you experience joy. And then you seek knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation. You understand? So this energy that once started off is just, I'm cool. We built upon that. Because I said you have to do that. Because if you don't do that, then since the same laws apply, as above, so below, we talked about that in the previous video, the law of correspondence, the energy starts to move into a negative spiral. Now you're bored. You went from cool, but you ain't do shit, so now you're bored. From that boredom goes pessimism. You know what they say? Boredom is the devil's playground. That ain't no lie. Frustration, because ain't shit cracking. And you still in this mode from the pessimism to frustration, you still can change it and turn it around. But if you keep going down that downward spiral, the further you get, the harder it is to get back up to that spiral. So we gotta start from a level of contentment, and a level of peace and a level of calm to even begin to rise up that emotion. Because emotion is energy in motion. Understand that. No, you can't be fixated on one particular emotion. Because sometimes people just be like, I'm cool. I'm chill. I'm chill. I'm chill. I'm regular. That shit's about to be dead real soon. We have to begin to start to work and live by these spiritual principles. Especially if we want to be communion in groups, we have to understand that energy is in motion. So you can really navigate what's going on with a person if you can just look at them and say, okay, but where are you going on this emotional scale? Is your emotions rising? Are your thoughts that you having allowing your emotions to rise? Or are these something that is something that's bringing you down? So just truly understand that when really understanding the law of vibration and the emotional piece. So why is the emotional piece important to the law of vibration? Because our vibration is not the things that we just simply think about. Our vibration is the things that we feel and our emotions. And the feeling and the emotional piece is the larger piece. What we actually think and plan in our short term memory, in our actual an analyzation of the pros and cons and what we should do. Should I move to Detroit? Should I move to Texas? Should I move to Louisiana? All of that shit is really weak shit. The strong stuff that we really have is in the subconscious mind. The things that we really want to do, the places that we really want to see, our emotions and our feelings, our habits. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people who have habits that prevent them from actually living the life that they truly want to live. So no matter what you say, no matter what you think, no matter what you plan, no matter how much you analyze, if you don't correct that habit, if you don't correct that toxic relationship, if you don't cure that addiction, it doesn't matter. If you don't have a creative expression, it doesn't matter. If you don't have a spiritual connection to a source, it doesn't matter. If you don't know how to follow your inner guides, it doesn't matter because you're going to be always looking for an external thing to guide you. And guess what? They're going to guide you wrong and you're going to be always back to square one. You have to you only learn by learning through yourself and trusting yourself, not by learning through me or any guru or any teacher or anything like that. You have to learn yourself. And you do that through emotions and feelings, not by conscious thought, analysis and things of that nature. So when we talk about understanding the law of vibration is actually the law of attraction. The law of attraction is just one law in a series of other laws. Many people think that the law of attraction is a big series of various things. No, the law of attraction is the law of vibration, and the law of vibration states that you attract with that you vibrate with. But the thing of it, especially our people, definitely at a subconscious level, based upon teachings in public school. I don't know if you had that experience like me. There's some things that are ingrained into the teaching and to the just programming of the students that, and a lot of it is very subtle. Vanity, for instance, and pity and hate. So, if we don't deal with the subconscious things, the unconscious things, how we truly feel, and the real emotions, and really identify what those emotions is and really learn how to heal those emotions, it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you plan. It doesn't matter what you budget. Because you got real shit blocking you. You understand? So, once to fully understand the law of vibration, you can't fake it. It's not what you say to me, it's the vibration that you put out. And we'll explain what vibration truly is. And we're still not finished. We still got a little bit more to talk about. But I just really want to explain a few points on the different emotions that we can actually clear with just a quick understanding. Anytime we experience pity, whether it's towards another person and towards ourselves, that represents something that we feel bad about, but also a conscious decision not to do anything about it. Okay? That's the only way that we can experience pity. The solution to pity is to actually do something towards something that we feel bad about. In regards to self hate, when we believe people's ideas of about ourselves or about other people's, and it disrupts our initial admiration or love for that person, that creates hate, because you can't have hate without love. And so self hate is anything that disrupts that initial love that you had for yourself, that you really had in the womb when it was just you, and you've grown and protected yourself and made sure you had the proper nourishment and knew the proper time to exit the womb and things of that nature, knew how to cry to get assistance and things of that nature. That's real self-love. you know Over time, through training and life, you've been disrupted on how to actually love yourself and the value of self-love. So that's what's creating self-hate. Vanity is anything physical. So vanity could be the skin, beauty, your house, your car, anything physical that you love. That creates vanity. Um, so just understanding those principles and understanding those different emotions that you may have that you might need to clear. Narcissism, you may love the physical world entirely too much. You may be so addicted to comfort that you can't even get spiritual one time. You may be so caught up in somebody else's beauty, or so you might admire somebody so much, but too afraid to tell them, you know what, I respect you. So you just create the shadow of jealousy and project that on that person that you truly admire. And so let's talk about idealism one time, because we got a lot of people who have negative relationship with their parents, and that's really asinine, and it's just ridiculous, especially if you're living and breathing. you know Generally, parents aren't guaranteed, for one. A lot of people have parents that pass away. you know Generally, people have parents that stay in their lives but make their lives live in hell. Not even to the point that they're 18. I know people who have toxic relationships with their parents well into their 50s and 60s. You understand? So the idealism of parenting is something that need to be removed from your whole thought process. You should hold nothing against your parents under any circumstances, because that represents a particular idealism. Any idealism in a relationship, what, you thought a guy was going to be a certain type of way, he didn't turn out the way that you thought he was, so that creates a resentment in you. Okay? Makes no sense. And then you're not going to do anything about it, because that represents an aspect of self-pity, something that you just feel bad about, right? I feel bad that I was in a relationship that hurt me. Well, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. I'm going to just have resentment. I'm going to work on this resentment. I'm going to hold on to this resentment. I'm going to hold on to this resentment, and this resentment is harming me, but yet and still I'm going to hold on to it. That's why you need to really talk to somebody that can help you get rid of these emotions and negative emotions, because it's very important when you want to attract the life that you really want to deserve. You got to really understand that sometimes it's you that's blocking you. We need to purge our body of these negative vibrations. This will help us find our path to synchronicity and live a more harmonious and peaceful life. You understand? And that's really the goal. A lot of us are holding on to a lot of negative aspects to our families, and it's just based on idealism, when there's no set rule to what a family should or should not be. And that's relationships, children, all areas of life. Idealism and resentment has to be let go, because that's a negative vibration. And the law of vibration and the law of correspondence, as above, so below, states that that negative vibration now has to be manifested on earth. And so once we clear ourselves of these negative vibrations, when we feel these negative vibrations, we'll realize them, and we'll just see it like, oh, that's that log on that river again. This time I ain't gonna try to chase it down the damn river like a dumbass and hit a fucking waterfall and, break my neck in the process. I'm gonna just let that goddamn branch in the river just sail down the river and live my life. You understand? It's really a thought process. And so this is something that we need to do every day. We need to learn to let go every day. Not even just on this call or on this video. You need to keep up a plan. Because it's just like to say you want to live in a clean house, but you decide to only clean your house once a month. No matter how much you want to have a clean house, no matter how much you plan to have a clean house, until you decide to clean your house every fucking day, it's always going to be dirty. And that's just the way life is. We need to do these things every day. Especially be mindful, because our mind is more important than our house. Because what if a goddamn meteor come down on our house tomorrow while we at work? Come home, ain't no damn house. What are we left with? Our mind. We need to think on what we need to do next, nigga. Gotta be in tune with something. What is a vibration? A vibration is 1, an emotional state. 2, an atmosphere of a place. And 3, the associations of an object as communicated to and felt by others. So 1, the emotions that I carry, whether I'm climbing up that ladder of emotions or I'm descending down that ladder of emotions, that is my vibration. I'm responsible for that. The atmosphere or the place that I'm at creates my vibration. Me, I like a lot of different lights and, a lot of shiny shit, money hanging around, incense burning. This is a vibration. I like music playing, you understand? I want to feel like I'm in the club at all times. I want to feel like I'm at the spot at all times. Like, that's because that's my vibration that I want to carry. I like to have fun. I like to have a good time. So, and I hope that the vibration that I have is communicated to and felt by others. Now, if I had a negative vibration, and there were times that I did have a negative vibration, and that and it is not like people felt that vibration. I communicated that vibration, you understand? And there's probably still levels of my vibration that are still low that I have to raise up. And as I raise my vibration up, you're going to feel it, you understand? And so that's generally the process of really understanding vibration and having a real deeper understanding of what vibration is. But, it's not the total end game, because we really need to figure out how to actually raise our vibration and what can we actually do. So let's get into some steps and some thought process on how to actually raise our vibration and understand vibration. Accordance with the vibration, we send out not merely what we want. In other words, we must also have the emotions and feelings that create a vibration that is in harmony with our wish. When your subconscious mind, which is also your emotional mind, has a different belief system than what you are wishing for, your beliefs will win because they are 1,000 times more stronger than your desires. So basically, in a nutshell, how many times have you been in a relationship but emotionally you felt like the shit wasn't never going to work out? How many times have you been at the casino just feeling like you about to lose all your money and lose? How many times have you been in the casino and just knew your ass was going to win, and you went into that mug with confidence and you walked out that mug with some bands? And that's how you know, like, I don't know. That's how you gauge it, because you have that confidence, When you just know your beliefs is stronger than your actual desires. Sometimes you may want to go to the casino, but you're not feeling it. That you know, how many times have you been in a situation and you just said, "I'm not feeling it, bruh. I'm not feeling it." Stronger than a situation that may sound tempting, and then you was like, "Oh, what happened last night? Such and such done shot up the club." See, I knew it. How many times have you said that? So really following your intuition, you can't be blocked by all this negative things and all this other stuff, because all the time your intuition is constantly working with you. Understand the law of vibration is that everything moves. Nothing is at rest. Intuition constantly wants to work with you in all aspects of your life. There is not a point in your life that you will never feel as though your inner life is not applicable. Your inner reality is always applicable. Your outer reality is completely null and void. It's a complete illusion. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just a simple reflection. Just the same as you valuing the mirror instead of the person that's looking in it. That's what the soul is. And life is the mirror. And a lot of our people value the actual mirror, the actual physical mirror, instead of the thing that's peering into it. It's very interesting to see and observe. To get to this point, we establish a point of equanimity. We want to master the law of vibration. Most people don't necessarily talk about this. Dave Chappelle talked about this in his last stand up special, but this has nothing to do with that. This comes to really understanding your vibration, because we don't want to get to a point where we're going too high or to a point where we're going too low. We want to stay very balanced and unaffected by stress. Not to say that you won't experience stress, but to say I'm unaffected by stress because I want to master my vibration. I want to master my inner peace, so to speak. And this is even different this is not the same as indifference or even peace. Because indifference is just a shield that we use to block ourselves up from life, to say that we really don't care. When we cut people off and we don't deal with people that we really want to deal with, that's just a form of indifference. Because we don't want to deal with the responsibility of probably dealing with that person. Because whenever you engage with another person, you engage with a particular responsibility. And sometimes we're not ready for that. And so that's a level of indifference. Peace is not bad, but sometimes it's about repressing the internal conflict that's really there and not really dealing with it. So, not really having psychological evaluation or psychological healing or psychological talks. We can strive for peace, but we're really not dealing with anything. So, equanimity is the fact to say, I see my stress, I see what I'm going through, but I'm still mentally calm. I still have my composure. My temper is still even though I'm in a difficult situation. So it's very key when understanding and mastering the law of vibration. Equanimity is a point where we're no longer projecting or introjecting. 9 times out of 10, something so the same way, the same mirror analogy. If there is something that we see in the mirror that we don't like, is that a reflection of the mirror or is that a reflection of us? So a lot of people get on their platforms and they sit and just talk about how the mirror is so ugly, how it's so many gay people in their mirror, how it's so many racists in their mirror. They can't stand people in their mirror. And the whole time, the only person in the mirror is them. You understand? So we can't establish equanimity by listening to people and getting riled up and being socially programming, positively or negatively. We understand that it's all illusion, and we have to get in tune with our soul and our intuition so we can navigate this matrix like Neo. Once you realize that it's all an illusion, there is no such thing as something being greater or something being worse, because it is all an illusion. This is where we reach equanimity and we reach peace. and we can start to project the life we truly want to live and really escape the fuck out of this matrix real fast. Let's talk about some things that we can do to actually raise our vibration instead of just telling ourselves that we want to raise our vibration. Gratitude. Write down 10 things that you're grateful for and really feel that gratitude. If you don't got 10 things you're not grateful for, write down 10 things that you possibly could be grateful for and feel that energy. Like I said, man, my crib is like the mini club. I always got music playing, I always got different vibrations playing, whether it be, the Orisha music, the Pontos music down in Brazil, whether it be future, chopped and screwed, alternative, avant-garde jazz, classical music, African music, Indian, Bahans. You gotta listen to the music that you love because that music creates that vibration. And deal with nature. Walk in nature. Places that you appreciate, places that you value. Because nature just represents God's abundance, man. Just walk up in somewhere and just be surrounded by nature. That'll instantly raise your vibration. A lot of y'all just be in the house too much. Get you a drum. Go out there and beat on the drum. Have shorty dance for you. Like, really tap into this things that can really raise your vibration. It connects on different levels, trust me. Pick up litter and things of that nature. Work with the fairy and the nature deities and things of that nature. Things to raise your vibration. Find something or someone beautiful and appreciate it. You see a beautiful person, let them know that they're beautiful with no expectations. Appreciate the beauty around you. Appreciate the architecture, the nature, the vehicles, whatever it is, man. Find something beautiful and appreciate it. Or find something that you hate and just sit in negative and stew in negative emotions and things of that nature. That's lowering your vibration. You attracting that lower vibration. So the things that you are disappointed by are the things that lower your vibration. So be mindful. Make sure you send love to the people that's bothering you, trying to distract you, trying to hurt you, and all of that. Because if you mirror the vibrations that they send in you, that's lowering your vibration. So when people send you negativity, make sure you send them back love. Be mindful of your own vibration. It's yours. Protect it. Raise it. Grow it. Another thing you can do to rise your vibration is buy one of these cash shirts. Mention this video, you get $5 off. Hit me up in the Gmail, hoodmystic@gmail.com for more information. Also, to raise your vibration with getting one of these tarot readings, astrology readings. We also do chakra counseling. If you want to know like how people feel about my readings, just send me an email. Ask for the reviews. Say, I just want to see some reviews, nigga. I don't believe you. And I send you the link, man. It's really going down. So that's really the law of vibration in a nutshell. I know it's a lot of information, but I had to get it out. And hopefully you have a better understanding on what the law of vibration is and how to actually use it and incorporate it in your daily life. Be sure to like, subscribe to my channel, share this video because you never know who it can help. And make sure to email me if you have any question, if you want to know any references of where I got my information and things of that nature. We can talk about it because this is not my information. This is our information. So it's our job, it's our duty to discuss it. A lot of our people just want to talk about nonsense, but I'm just not one of those people. So let me know how you felt about this video. Let me know if it was helpful. Other than that, man, I'm signing out, man. Y'all have a good one. Peace.